Reports from beyond the stars. The situation felt oddly familiar, presenting a mission that succeeded in a way that will be incredibly distasteful to one's commanding officer. It even has that wretch Philip as a major part of the scenario. Once again, the utter clown was getting away clean and laughing, and the only way to finish her mission was to let him. Stepanova, her handler says before she can leave to present to the entire world. She meets the man's gaze without flinching. He has no questions. He simply is reminding her of his presence, as if she could ever forget. There is some polite applause, and some not so subtly whispered questions as she walks towards the podium, cane in hand to help her move with some proper speed. She hates being old. She will never admit just how much she wanted to try that healing coma. However, the possibility of a copy of her mind being stolen, the possibility of it being erased, and the near guarantee of her being mistaken for a badly done clone of herself had held her off from that. Good afternoon. I am Anastasia Stepanova. You have all already received the information I've brought back, and you have all no doubt began sorting out whom will receive what resources from the massive tanker we have brought. Now, are there any further questions? Does Admiral Cistern truly think he can bribe his way out of a court-martial? Someone demands, and there are several more shouted questions that immediately kick off, and she gets ahead of the possible screaming match by tapping the microphone. She gives it a little scratch with each tap, and that very, very quickly gets people to quiet down. His intention, as he best relayed it to me, is to continue sending resources as well as blueprints for space-worthy vessels until Earth is completely capable of colonizing its own personal corner of the galaxy. Madame Stepanova states evenly. Next question. Why is he doing this? He's gone rogue with the United States. The representative from the States begins, and the room erupts into argument, and she lets it go for a minute or three and then starts tapping and scratching the microphone. When it fails to produce the desired results, she plucks the small microphone pinned to her lapel off and holds it next to the main microphone to cause massive feedback that shuts everyone up. As everyone stares at her, she pins it back on without any rush on her features. You're done, right? I'm old. I don't have the energy to waste babysitting a bunch of overgrown children. She kicks off the feedback again as the offended representative starts shouting. The moment they stop, so does she. I'm already half dead. None of your threats mean anything to me, so I'll be honest with you. There is no interruption, so she cracks a wicked grin. What you just did, that fight, that argument, it's why he had to go rogue and why there was little, if any, argument. I saw the secret orders he was given. I questioned every Earthborn soldier in his organization, and all of them revealed they had been bribed, blackmailed, or threatened into acting against the common interest. The smallest number of extra orders each soldier got was at least 2. Aside from the Admiral, who had thousands of extra hidden orders, the second largest number was 53. Most had 6 or 7. There is a deafening silence at her calling out literally the entire room for their backstabbing and hypocrisy. The irony of her doing it is so thick she could likely bludgeon someone to death with it. You gave them all the kind of orders that let someone know they're on a suicide mission or will be used as a political scapegoat. Put them on a ship that could go further and faster than everything and anything you have, and then sent them off. Now you're surprised that most don't want to come back. The cackle she lets out at that has some of the more superstitious and paranoid people wondering if there's a chicken-legged house nearby. She offers a smile, and for a moment there's almost a flash of iron teeth instead of her more normal mouth, for a given value of normal at any rate. What I find most egregious is that Admiral Cistern has set himself up as the Grand Admiral of his own state without oversight or any checks and balances to his own power. This man has a piece of equipment nearly $1 trillion in value, an immensely skilled and inexplicably loyal crew, and somehow expects that we will not answer this insult. The representative from Mexico states, "You have the information packet, Representative. It shows the very clear no-win scenario that he was placed in by both yourselves and the Galactic Council." "Do you have an actual question?" Madam Stepanova demands. "Yes. During the dissection of the alien cadavers, there have been pieces missing. What are you hiding?" "The bodies were whole and intact. I personally saw to the acquisition of several of them and ensured they would stay fresh," she says, completely uncaring of the outright admittance to her kidnapping and murdering several aliens. Little in the way of a liver, no kidneys of any description, the digestive tract is minimal at best. I can go on. That is also explained in the information I've brought back. Does anyone have any questions that isn't a big display of them being too stupid to read the actual information? There are references to him recruiting and expanding these undaunted. How is he going to keep it favoring humanity if humans are going to rapidly become a minority in his own organization? The representative from Russia asks, and she smiles. Simply put, the basic layout of the undaunted means they will be heading to any and all areas where people are stranded and cut off from the rest of the galaxy, and doing what they can to sort that out. Which, in the case of Earth, means they'll be sending huge amounts of supplies and blueprints to use those supplies, implying that they're already acting as heroes. If you're going to search through the report I brought, there are 3 planetary names you should pay attention to: Vuxa, Albrith, and Lacrin, a planet controlled by criminal gangs and sadists pacified and protected, another under the grips of something out of a horror movie, and a lost colony in need of rescue. Those weren't action movies starring aliens that look human? The Indian representative asks. No, they were not. You can actually match up the faces and names to soldiers posted on the Dauntless. So there is literal space magic in the hands of the undaunted. In the hands of the entire galaxy, we are effectively in a dead magic zone, or cruel space as the rest of the galaxy calls it. But this is, like almost every other question, something in the data that's been brought to you. She says in a tone that is both one of immense disappointment and annoyance. Are there any other questions, or can I go sit down? You can go. Thank you, she says, and she simply leaves. No more words, no more cares. The moment she's out of sight, she's greeted by the handler giving her a raised eyebrow. She looks up towards the nearest camera and notices that the light is off. It's deactivated. She deactivates her microphone and nods to the younger man. "This way, ma'am," he says, and she nods. Now comes time for the actual questions and answers. It's always interesting to be on target side of an interrogation. "You are the Blues?" the soldier asks as the large family arrives. "The video is family directed, but we're all family. Don't you worry, young man. Now I want to hear what my son has to say. Is space just as crazy as they claim?" Maggie March Mama Blue states with confidence. She's the matriarch and she knows it. "I hope my little boy's been eating properly. Considering what's happened to him, eating properly is the least of the drama. You have 3 videos to show. Him, his mental clone, and the woman that mentally cloned him." "Ya what?" "Apparently, there was an act of, what's the word? Contrition, where in order for Horus to forgive her, Dr. Skitterway had to explain herself to all of you and introduce Jasper or Emmanuel or the clone or however the hell that drama shakes out. I don't really know, it's crazy." "What kind of name is Skitterway? And who's Jasper Oh, no, Horus. Did your clone really reference a Disney movie? Why would they clone?" Patrick Pa Blue asks, before Mama starts dragging him into the next room. "Let's see for ourselves. Play them in whatever order makes sense," Mama declares, and the soldier chuckles before setting it all up quickly. "All right, this will be good," he says as everyone piles into the room. "Message playing soon. Everyone get comfortable." The door closes, and after a minute the lights dim. So of course there's a last-second rush for everyone still standing to find a seat. A couple of cousins abandon the chase and move to support the walls. The far wall lights up as a viewing screen, and it shows Horus Blue standing at ease with a big grin on his face. The camera is pulled back far enough to show his entire frame, and there's that clearly looking for trouble air about him. "Hey, I'd say good to see you all, but I ain't seeing you, you're seeing me. Last message I told you that I was looking to join up on anything big, and there were a few concerns, but we were on top of them. Well, now the concern has come to life. The concern in question was a result of something I tested, a healing coma. Basically, they wanted to see if it could wipe away scars." He explains himself before lifting his t-shirt and turning to the side. The old cut he got when he was a teen is just gone. And the answer is yes. We also learned that we need to up security in some areas as the band to help me retain memories after a healing coma was stolen. I didn't tell you last time because I didn't want to worry you. He takes a deep breath and then chuckles. Well, that's enough worrying for all of you. I know now exactly what happened to it, where, when, why, and how. In other words, everything was answered. It was stolen by a professional thief for a mad scientist who used it on a mind-blank clone of her long-dead son that she initially made for spare parts in case he got hurt. She then launched the clone in a life pod to a failed colony world where he woke up and is now in the process of conquering it. Sort of. He then laughs hard and loud. I would give anything to see the looks on your faces. Oh man, life is so amazingly crazy. Anyways, we figured he'd wake up eventually, so we set up a system to get into contact with him properly, so I got a brother now. Jasper. Jasper the giant Mothman who's conquering an entire world. Ha, ha, ha. Oh man. He calms down a bit before turning to the side and telling someone to come over. Then No. Midgets have distorted proportions. There's what seems to be a fully grown man barely coming up to Horus's upper thigh and standing beside him. I signed up for the Titan squads. We're using an axiom technique to really grow up. Mort here is 6.5 feet tall. Horus explains, reaching down to pat Mort and immediately getting his hand grabbed and then expertly thrown to the side. Horus clearly hits the wall feet first and actually sticks it before getting his hands under him. A cartwheel later and the giant man is back to where he was, and Mort shakes his head and walks out. Remember what you owe me for that. I remember, don't you worry. This barman pays his tab. Horus assures the smaller man before grinning at the camera. That's right. I'm 13 feet tall, and guess what? I've got another 2 on the way. Titan squad members are a minimum of 15 feet tall and have power armor and weapons that are best mounted on tanks. By the time I get to Lacrin, I'm going to be able to treat open doors and reinforced walls like the same thing. He then laughs again and slaps his knee with enough force that the camera actually jumps. Oh. It takes him a moment to right the camera. He then offers another smile before coughing into his fist. You got 2 more messages. One from my new brother, your new son. You'll love the crazy bastard. It's me, but a moth. So he can fly. Oh, and apparently he gets horny when it rains. Something about Earthani mating seasons. He also did something weird. I'm not really sure how to describe it or if I believe it. But apparently he also got the memories of the person his body was cloned from, so I don't know. He's his own man, but I still see me in him. He's still a blue in a way, just a giant alien moth. There's another shrug of gigantic shoulders. Anyways, one of the videos coming up is the Mad Doctor, a spider woman explaining why she did what she did. It was the condition I gave her for earning my forgiveness for stealing a copy of my mind. I'm still kind of pissed, but I'm not gonna take it out on her. The woman's been through it. So, yeah. I've expanded the family, not by my choice and with A very different context to just how weird and likely scary that sounds. Anyways, I got iron to pump, a planet to save, and a war crime cannon to master. Heh, heh, heh. I got the biggest and baddest laser. Ha! Anyways, doing well. I love you all, and there's more weirdness on the way. Enjoy! I can't wait to get the response to this level of crazy, Horus says before saluting the camera. Titan Squad Captain Horus Blue, signing off. Then the video ends. A countdown of 5 minutes begins for the next one. For the first 30 seconds, there is no chatter for the stunned, silent audience. Then they all start talking at once.